Lamborelli on RTE 2FM.
Now, we spoke earlier with Levi Amarillo, who wanted to share his own story of becoming a victim of a rental scam that ended up costing him €6,000. And he wanted to talk about that in the hopes of warning students as they return to college this week and next. Well, the housing charity Threshold last month joined forces with third-level student bodies for the nationwide Scamwatch rental awareness campaign. And Threshold's campaigns officer, Kat Clark, joins me now. Kat, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you, Ashley?
I'm great. Not a bother. Thanks so much for coming on this morning. I just wanted to ask you, how common is what happened to Levi, who we spoke to earlier?
So, unfortunately, we do receive calls from students, and so do ICOS, the Irish Council of International Students, and USI, the Union of Students in Ireland, who we partnered with. We do receive calls from students around this time of year and all year round, sadly, about these. But the thing is, we know this is happening to students a lot more often than what they're coming to us for. So That's why we wanted to really come together and put this campaign together to educate students on protecting themselves and that this is happening in Ireland and to be conscious of it when they're looking for accommodation.
Sure. One of the questions I asked Levi was whether there was anything that the Gardaí or the banks were able to do to help him or someone like him. Is there anything that they can do?
So, unfortunately, I'm not a representative for the Gardaí or banks, but I can say when students come to Threshold and have sadly become victims of scams, we do advise them to go get in contact immediately with the Gardaí and their bank because each situation is actually quite unique, and so there might be something that can very well be done on their behalf.
So at least always make contact with both of those, you would say, if something like this happens to you.
100% definitely let the guards and bank know, and talk to Threshold as well. We're happy to walk you through it. And to be honest, we often receive these from students, and we can let other people know. Like we put on our social media, like, oh, this scam is happening, and it has affected a couple of students that have come to us, and so you can warn other students about it as well.
Absolutely. Is there a busy time? This is a weird question, but is there a busy time of year for rental scams? Like, would you see an increase around now when people are going back to college?
We do see a lot of calls from students at this time of year, but I will say it does happen all year round for all renters. So It's not like we can maybe be a bit lax about it, say, in March.
The rest of the year, for sure, yeah.
Exactly. We need to always be vigilant and always be aware that these are happening.
Tell us a little bit about Scamwatch, which is the rental awareness campaign that you guys are running.
Yeah, of course. So we were getting calls from students, and we wanted to raise awareness that this is happening and also help students just know how to spot a scam themselves and then know what supports are available for them before they run into a scam. So say if they were not sure about an ad, who do they call? They can definitely call Threshold, USI, or ICOS. We're happy to walk them through what red flags are maybe coming up for us on an ad, and then also what supports are available to them if they do sadly fall victim to a scam, and who can they call to see what the next step is.
Great. What you mentioned, the red flags there and the things that people should be on the lookout for. Is there anything that you would be able to tell us about now? Anything common when it comes to these types of scams that people should be on the lookout for?
Definitely. Levi touched on a few of them there in his interview as well. But the biggest two, I would say, the first one being if a landlord or letting agent is saying that they can't arrange a viewing immediately and they're urging you to pay a deposit and first month's rent before you can even see the property, it's a huge red flag for us. And the other would be if the landlord's bank account details are from a foreign bank account. That doesn't necessarily mean, oh, it's a definite scam. But I think if you look at these situations in the whole, you can see a couple of red flags there, maybe paired with the foreign bank account. That could mean, oh, I better be cautious about the situation and step away rather than proceed and give a large sum of money because, as you know, renting in Ireland today is not a cheap thing.
No.
So even with what a landlord can ask, which is a deposit and first month's rent up front, it's still a lot of money, you know.
Yeah, and you stand to lose a huge amount of money, absolutely. So what are
Yeah.
some of the do's and don'ts when it comes to rental accommodation? Finding
Yeah,
rental
of course.
accommodation.
So one of the biggest do's would be to trust your gut. I think we all know once you've had a look around staff, what is maybe too good to be true. I'm going to say most of the time it is too good to be true. That's a scam. That's not a real thing. So say beautiful 2-bedroom apartment off Stevens Green that is $500 a month is probably not a real rental ad. But also I know students like in Levy's situation who are maybe new to Ireland and don't know what is too good to be true. They're more than welcome to get in touch. Again, we're happy to go through an ad with them and say like, oh yeah, this is not on. This is not a real ad.
Sure.
Another big do is
go ahead, Kat. Go ahead.
Another big do would be to view the property, and if you want to be extra cautious, which we would advise you are, you can ask the landlord or letting agent for a picture of their photo ID, so that way you can look them up, like Levy was saying, online. I will say he noted about the RTV database. That is a great resource because you can see all the registered tenancies. You can look up a property's address to see if it is registered.
Yes.
That doesn't necessarily have to be the case for all students because some of them are licensees and they wouldn't be registered tenancies, but they can still be legit and not a scam. So again, I keep saying this, I'm so sorry, but get in touch with Threshold. We're so happy to walk students through all of these things. So what resources are available, like the RTV database.
So if people do find themselves or suspect that they have been the victim of a scam, what can Threshold do? It provides support and advise in next steps. Would that be fair?
Yes, definitely. So we're there to act as to give free advice and advocacy for renters. So we can definitely tell them what the next steps are, who to call. So someone in Levy's situation, he was just understandably gobsmacked and did not know what to do. We're happy to be there. That's why we're in existence, is for those situations. And so we're happy to lead you through the next steps and how to hopefully get your money back.
Where can people contact Threshold, get more advice? You have a website, presumably.
Yes, definitely. So they can get in touch with us online at www.threshold.ie, or they can ring us on our free phone helpline Monday to Friday from 9 to 9 at 1-800-454-454.
Really appreciate it, Kat. Thanks so much for coming on and sharing all that with us this morning.
No, thank you for having me.
Thank you. That is Threshold's campaign officer, Kat Clark, speaking to us there about how the housing charity and the third level student bodies join forces for Scamwatch, a nationwide rental awareness campaign. And you can check out threshold.ie for more on that.